Here we go again. Another week, another episode, another review. This episode starts right off introducing us to not just one new character, but a whole family of them. And not just anyone's family, either. Fluttershy's. Mr. and Mrs. Shy, and the little brother of the family, Zephyr Breeze. Right off the bat, we can see where Fluttershy gets her quiet demeanor and more reserved personality. Her brother, on the other hoof, seems to be the polar opposite, quite carefree and over-the-top flamboyant. And from the way things go, it would appear that he has a thing for Dash, which causes some pretty disgusted expressions from our Wonderbolt flyer. Early on, we find that Zephyr just got back from main therapy school, or rather, he just quit. He tries to gloss it over, saying that he's too good or they don't want to hinder his free spirit. I'd say it's pretty clear that he really just wasn't doing too well in school and would rather quit than stick it out to the end. Not surprisingly, Fluttershy leads on that this isn't new for her little brother. Not really sure what he wants to do, but all too sure that he'll be great at it without having to put in too much effort. Now, anyone else notice the book Dash was reading? If you look closely, you can see a certain rainbow-maned mare standing beside the daring explorer. No wonder Dash is so bored. It's like reading her own diary at this point. Moving along, we discover a word too harsh for a filly's ears. Essentially, I'm going to assume it's the pony equivalent of cursing. No one brings out the best or the worst in an individual like family can. Returning to her parents' home after a remark from Applejack, we find Zephyr clearing out the back house to turn it into an art studio. It would seem Mr. and Mrs. Shy could use 2 tickets to an Iron Will seminar. So Fluttershy confronts him over his actions and essentially kicks him out of their parents' house, only to have him end up crashing at her house. Don't you just love little brothers? They really know how to push your buttons. It doesn't take much for Fluttershy to allow Zephyr to stay, but she does lay out one ground rule. Simply, he has to get a job. The next morning, bright and early, honestly, who likes Mondays anyway? Fluttershy starts her little brother off with a potential job, which he quickly botches, has a few choice words with his boss, and quits. Though I'm pretty sure he was fired the moment Rarity saw the fabric. Next, he whizzles his way out of cleaning windows, though he is still willing to take the credit. And finally, he escapes from Dash after having a shock treatment. Really, I'm surprised he never once seemed the slightest bit impressed at Rainbow Dash's position as a Wonderbolt. Well, so much for fame and glory. Since not only can he not find a job, but he can't even keep the jobs others find for him, Fluttershy makes the call that he can no longer live at her house. Playing on sympathy gets him nowhere with Fluttershy's tough love, and he moves out into the forest. Seriously, a guy this vocal and exuberant doesn't have any friends he can crash with? Okay, scratch that. They're probably all homeless bums like he is. And the Breeze apparently doesn't know the first thing about camping, so Fluttershy offers him a deal. And one song later, Zephyr finds his sense of accomplishment. Finishing up, the Shy folks seem to be in on antagonizing Dash a bit with the shipping, and Zephyr returns home. This time, though, not as a bum, but as a graduate. I'd like to point out that while it would appear that he just had to do the job, it actually requires a fair amount of hard work and dedication. Many times, folks have said that practice makes perfect, but in all honesty, if we think that, we'll never be content. And just like Zephyr, we'd rather give up than put in the effort we fear we don't have. So, instead of perfection, I prefer my own phrase. Practice makes progress. Keep working hard at your goals, even when it's tough. Persevere through it. The rewards of reaching those goals aren't so much about achieving them, it's about the journey that you took that got you there. So, thanks for joining me. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.